blessings.
Diablo.
I feel bad about this.
You feel bad about what?
Drinking.
Why? It tastes
Because
so
I was
good.
sober for so long.
You can start again next year.
Felt like a long time.
Next year's another day. Hi guys, welcome back to the What Could Go Wrong podcast. My name is Jules, Julia, that loud Mexican bitch. And
horrible influence.
Bad influence.
Snake.
Oh my. Okay, we're not doing this anyway.
Ghost hunter.
Anyway, to my right, I have
Humble Pierre. You know, I'm trying.
Okay.
Humble Pierre.
That's fine. We could take that. All right. Again, welcome back to the What Could Go Wrong podcast. We are here to talk about a recent adventure that Pierre and I took. We didn't have enough the first time. We had to go back for seconds. Are you not going to
comment on this fly ass shirt? This ground beef that's hanging out?
I'm not going to comment on it. But
this is my whole personality. This Puerto Rico trip, that's all I talk about at work.
That's it.
People are like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm actually going to Puerto Rico.
I'm doing research on Puerto Rico.
I'm getting ready.
Did you know something blah, blah, blah about Puerto Rico? They don't have sharks in the water? I don't know. All
right. Now we can go.
Okay. Well, I started drinking because I thought you were going to keep talking. But okay, fine, whatever. So we went out on an adventure. This is our second time attending this adventure.
Yeah.
We went to an all-Spanish comedy club.
That I found.
Show. Yeah, you did find it. Congratulations. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, they do this monthly. We went last month.
Yep.
Totally spaced out about it. Got tickets for this month.
Yeah.
Originally, it was only supposed to be me and my queen that were going.
Why?
So I see this shit on Facebook again.
Right.
And yeah, I use Facebook still. I'm old as fuck.
Stop it.
So I immediately was like, let me get me and my queen tickets.
Yeah.
I try to hide it from Jules, but I end up fucking posting them on social media, and Jules is like, when are we going, motherfucker?
Yeah. I was like,
where's my ticket?
Yeah. I was like, I hope you got my ticket, bitch.
So obviously I get Jules a ticket because she's going to drive.
Yeah.
We go down and...
Well, hold on. Before we even get there, Pierre has to body shame me.
Body shame.
Body shame.
What's that like?
It's terrible because I made choices to drink and he talks shit about my drinking.
Where? In public?
Yeah.
You're heavy drinking in public.
It's not heavy drinking, Pierre.
Your whole bottle of wine, bitch.
What?
I did not body shame you. I said, can you please not drink a whole bottle of wine to yourself?
You said, you're getting a little big in the shoulders. Stop drinking so much. Okay. That's what you said. You look a little puffy. And so he limits me to two drinks. So since he's ruining the fucking vibe, I put 2 White Claws inside of a water bottle. And I'm like, that's what I'll drink. I'll just drink
fits perfectly.
Yeah. It actually, there was enough room for a third one. There was. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. I only took 2 drinks. I did pregame.
Yeah,
before.
obviously.
Yeah. You know,
you're like, those don't count.
Those don't count. The pregames don't count. So I pregame. I take my water bottle full of White Claws and get to the venue. We have some difficulty finding parking, but whatever. That's fine. That's neither here nor there. We get to the spot, and the first thing that we do is we have to order drinks, right?
Yeah. And same thing. It's a fucking coffee shop that sells alcoholic beverages.
Right.
So we get there, and immediately I was like, I am comfortable. I need a drink in my hand. So I immediately jump in line, and I was like, BJ, go check us in.
Yeah, because we knew who she had to interact with.
So she goes, checks us in. Jules, you did not buy a drink. I'm going to give you props because you stayed true to your word.
Goddamn right.
You were like, I already got a drink, motherfucker.
I was like, I got 2 drinks in my hand.
So I go up to the counter, and I was like, hey, man, can I get a hot chocolate, for BJ?
Yeah, she's wholesome.
And they have no Mexican beers. It's all like micro IPAs, weird fucking shit. So I go with what I know. I was like, let me get a Dale's and a hot chocolate.
Right.
And at that point, they're fucking super slow, as we found out last time.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me step outside. Let me cool down. Let me adjust to this new environment.
Okay.
I go in, and I don't like to, brag about myself, but there were some girls checking me out. You know what I'm saying? Some Latinas were looking at me.
You are a goddamn liar.
Serio. They know when a dude does not have kids.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So I go back inside. Jules is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
BJ is getting seats. 5 minutes had passed by for a fucking hot chocolate and a fucking beer. So I see the hot chocolate there. I go up to him and I was like, hey man, I had a hot chocolate and a beer. And you know when someone's not listening to you?
Yeah.
Like as soon as you start talking, they already have the answer.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, that is a hot chocolate. I was like, I understand that. But I also had a beer with it.
Ooh, shit.
And he was like, no, it was a hot chocolate. I was like, bro, I ordered a hot chocolate and a fucking beer.
Yeah.
And he like stopped and he was like, oh yeah, you did. Let me get that for you.
Get the fuck out of here.
And then immediately he was like, would you like that in a glass? I was like, no, motherfucker, just give me the goddamn can.
Why do I want it in a glass?
I don't know. At that time, finally, I was like, now I can relax. Let me have a drink.
Right.
I sit down because Jules did not trust BJ to get a seat.
No.
You were like, I got this.
She just checked us in. So I couldn't trust her to get a seat. So I said, let me go figure out where we're going to seat.
Yeah.
So I go up and I'm like, hey, so there's 3 of us. And the guy's like, sit in the front. Israel, the main guy. He's like, sit in the front. And I'm like, all right, bet. Because he remembered me from last time. And I was like, all right,
You're hard to
absolutely.
forget.
I was like, absolutely. So I go downstairs to the basement and I'm like, okay. I start looking and in the back, there's 3 seats all the way in the back. And I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm not sitting in the fucking back. I go to the front and there's only 2 seats up there.
Yeah, it's a little couch.
It's a little couch. And there's other seats, but they're like spread out. It's like 1 seat here and then there's like 2 people and it was all spread out. There wasn't enough for 3 people to sit. The only place was all the way in the back. And I was like, I'm not doing that shit. I said I specifically want to sit in the front. So I go back up and I relay the news to Pierre. And I told him what the layout of the land was. And he's like, well, I want to sit in the back. So that's perfect. Why did you want to sit in the back?
Well, for one, because last time you were faded as fuck.
I wasn't faded. Stop it.
I was like, I'm cool in the back because I don't like drawing attention to myself.
Right.
The podcast, it's different because it's just me and you in here.
Right.
So people, when they hear the podcast, they're like, oh, Pierre, he must be the life of the fucking party, bro. No, I'm antisocial as fuck.
Yeah.
I want to be in the back.
Yeah.
And the thing you skipped over was the host, Rebecca Trejo.
Yeah.
She has very fucking high energy.
I said BJ had to check in with high energy Rebecca.
No, she's like the type of chick who checks you in. Like when you go to Costco, they're like, good morning. Hello. How are you? Oh my God. I love your t-shirt.
Yeah.
What is that t-shirt all about? She just has high energy, but she's doing it in Spanish.
Yeah.
And I can't do that shit, bro.
I know. I can respond to you in English if you want that kind of energy, but I can't.
Yeah, she was hype as fuck.
Yeah, she really was. But when I told Pierre, he was happy. He was like, perfect, we're going to sit in the back. And I was like, nah, homie, we're splitting up the fucking group right now. Our family is not going to be family anymore. You and BJ are going to have to sit in the back, and then I'm going to sit in the front by myself. And I was fine with that.
I was totally okay being in the back. BJ was not. So these weren't regular seats.
No.
They were like high top chairs.
Yeah, they're like bar stools.
And, my queen, she's short as fuck, so her legs don't touch.
That's not my fault.
And we are like, when I say we're in the back, we are the very last row.
Yeah.
We're almost like, if I turn around, I could touch the stairs that lead upstairs.
Yeah. I don't know why she didn't come and sit with me. There was a spot.
I wonder why.
I don't know why.
It's like, I tried to sell her. I was like, you don't want to go sit next to Jules? She's right over there. That couch looks fun.
Yeah. It was
I was like, I heard she snuck in some alcohol.
Exactly.
She was like, no, I'm all right. I don't want to leave you like that. And I think it was because there were so many Latinas there who were digging me.
Oh, she was like, this is my man.
Yeah, the fucking seats, they were cool until people started moving.
Yeah.
And the people in front of us, they had to like move their chair and then go into my row to get out.
Oh, God.
People would walk past me and I could feel them like bumping into me and shit.
Oh.
It was very fucking tight. But I liked the back. Because if I had to piss, guess what? I'm the first one out.
Whatever. I was like the 4th person out at the end.
That's because you pushed your way through.
Well, I got big shoulders, so, I can't do that. So anyway, the first 3 comics that go up, very mid.
Yeah.
Not anything memorable. They were basic comics. Like one guy was from Vale.
Which was weird because he was gente.
Yeah.
And like, I don't like to judge people, but I was like, your mom worked in the hospitality.
Yeah.
Like there's no gente up there who own land. Like you're working in the hospitality service.
Yeah. I don't remember the other guy, like his jokes. I don't remember.
I was also kind of buzzed. Maybe that's what it was. We just couldn't understand the Spanish because we were just like drinking.
Well, their Spanish was fast as fuck.
Yeah.
There was one guy that his name was Monkey.
Yeah, I didn't really like that.
Yeah.
He was Puerto Rican, right?
He was Puerto Rican.
I was like, bro, I don't like that.
Yeah. I was just like, okay. He had like old man jokes is what he had. Like being married for like 20 years kind of jokes. And I was like, okay, I don't get it. Whatever.
They all can't be winners.
Yeah. Yeah. But.
This is when I saw you dying. I saw your head bobbing and shit.
Oh, stop it. I was not. My head was not bobbing. My head was moving with the laughter. That's how funny they were.
Nobody was laughing. The first three dudes,
yeah.
They were not getting it.
And then who comes to save the day?
Fuck.
Israel.
I wish I could say it with sabor.
Israel.
I can't do it. Israel.
Yeah.
He says this, he's a bisexual comic. Millennial.
Yeah, he owns it.
He came up and I was like, this motherfucker. He's kind of like the bilingual kid when he's in your class.
Yeah.
In school, and he's just fucking hilarious. This dude came in and saved the fucking show.
He did.
I was not laughing up until that point. I was falling asleep, and he just...
His energy.
His energy.
Yeah, he has good energy. Trauma energy.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Do you remember that they earlier in the show, they asked who had, like, kids. So they're like, oh, how many kids do you have? 1 kid. Oh, how many do you have? 2 kids. And some lady, I don't know how many she said, but it sounded like she said 25 kids.
Yeah.
So Israel comes up and he comments on the lady that has the 25 kids. And we're just like, what the fuck? 25 kids? And he's like, yeah, did you guys just do it like every day? Like, did you just walk and have your babies? Like,
did a lot of them die? Yeah,
he's just going on. And he's like, are any of them successful? Like, and then they start talking about one of the guys up front, and he says that he's divorced, which was weird because he was still wearing a wedding ring.
Maybe she died. Oh no.
No, he said divorced.
Okay,
he didn't say widowed.
Okay. Yeah, I try to save it. I was like,
I thought it was so weird because he was wearing a wedding ring. Like I noticed that when he said divorce, and I was just like, I think you're making your story
up. And he was balding. He had the comb over going.
Yeah. I don't know, but Israel. He asks him something. He's like, oh, yeah, that's my mom back there. Like, making it into part of the joke, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, damn, lady, like, your kids must need some help. Like, look at this dude. He's all divorced, has 1 kid. Like, are all your kids like this?
That's when the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
To La Señora. And La Señora, because she was like 3 rows in front of me.
Okay.
She was quick with it. She was older... Frontera face, you know what I'm saying? She was definitely like an older Mexican lady.
She was like 50 years old.
She was quick with it.
Yeah.
Fucking started talking. She started heckling the fucking comic.
She was heckling all comics.
And I could tell Israel was kind of getting to him because she was fucking making people laugh and shit.
Yeah.
And Israel was like, oh yeah, I tried to make it smooth. I offered her a drink and she immediately was like, well, what about my friends?
Yeah.
And when he said that, it fucking made me laugh because my mom was like that. My mom had seen vergüenza.
Yeah.
Like if somebody offered her something, she was like, well, what else can I get?
Yeah.
And I feel like we missed that with this generation, our generation, nobody fucking asked for shit.
No. But this lady had no fucking shame in her
No
game.
fucking shame.
No, she was like, and what about my friends? He was like, nah, homie, like, I'm just going to buy you a drink. And she was like, well, then I don't want it if you're not going to buy any for my friends.
She was like, what about tickets? Can I get some tickets?
Yeah, she wanted all kinds of free shit.
Fucking, that's not where it ended.
No.
So... I started laughing. I was like, all right, I got my fucking energy back.
Yeah.
My Aryan Queen is laughing. I was like, all right, bet. He's going to start with his fucking set. He's going to start making me laugh.
Yeah.
30 seconds into his set.
Yeah.
She starts talking shit again.
Yep.
Like, she's a part of it.
Yeah.
And usually, I don't like it when people do that because it's usually white people who are like heckling. But I don't know what. Gente, I was okay with it because she fucking was at least getting the room laughing. And... he could not let that shit go.
No.
He was petty as fuck. Do you remember when he took off his belt?
And after he takes off his fucking belt, he starts snapping it like
flashbacks.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, moms, don't hit me. It was a lot. But before we continue on that story, we have to take a commercial break. So we'll be right back, guys.
Hey. What the fuck was that?
Oh
God.
It's, oh my God, whatever. Hold on.
Welcome back.
Diablo. This shit wanted to spill, man. They filled it too much to the brim. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Delicious.
Well-deserved break.
All right. So, what were we talking about before we left on the...
We were talking about the comedian and La Señora.
Okay. Well, she was going back and forth with him. Like, it was very impressive. But then Israel, he calls on the people that are next to me.
Yeah, he was like, all right, enough. You've taken enough of this time.
Yeah. He doesn't get into his full set. Like, it's so funny because he goes and he does like a minute of his set and then the fucking lady jumps in and then he has to stop his set to acknowledge her and fucking engage with her and then burn her and then... Anyway, it doesn't matter. So he engages with the couple to my right.
Yeah.
And it was they were white looking. They were white passing, but they were Mexican. I don't know what they were, to be honest.
The girl looked white.
The girl was from Nebraska. And he asked her, the comedian asked her on a scale from 1 to 10, how good is your Spanish? And she goes, well, I grew up or I lived in, he goes, nah, bitch. I said from 1 to 10, how good is your Spanish? I didn't ask where you lived or where you grew up. And everybody was dying.
Yeah, he picked on the whitest girl. Me and BJ were in the back. He wasn't going to pick on us.
No, of course not. Of course not. First of all, don't say us. You mean her.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, she ends up admitting that she's from Nebraska.
Yeah.
And then she's with this dude and they're all cuddled up. And she's like, oh, no, we're just friends.
And he was like, so you guys aren't married?
Yeah. She's like, no. She's like, we're not even dating.
I got cheating vibes.
Yeah.
Like they were like work wife.
Yeah. Where I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't fucking know. Hold on. But she ends up, her Spanish is decent, right?
Yeah.
And the guy, he spoke Spanish too, but I don't know where he was from.
He was like Chicano. And Israel likes to trip up people.
Yeah.
He likes to ask them hard-ass questions that you're never going to... I feel like I'm a decent, fluent speaker in Spanish.
Right.
Like a hard 5.
Right.
He likes to ask weird-ass questions.
Yeah, he really does. He asked something like to the effect of, what does it mean when somebody says that la situación se puso de hormiga, color de hormiga?
And me, I'm like, that's a fucking ant.
Yeah.
Hormiga? Because my mom was like, vamos a tener hormigas en la casa porque estás comiendo en la noche.
Yeah.
That's not what that means.
And so I was just like, okay, so like an ant is black or red. So the situation became black or red. And that's not what that means. It means like the situation was complicated is what it
Which
means.
I've never heard anybody fucking use.
No.
I've never heard a single person ever use that term. And I felt like the water boy. Yeah. I almost raised my hand. I was like, my mama says.
Yeah, my mama has never told me that that sentence before. And so the girl she didn't know it either.
Yeah, it was a trick question.
Yeah. But then they started asking where people were from. And so they said, where are you from? And they point directly at me. And my answer immediately was like, yo tengo papeles, bitch. Like, don't ask me where I'm from. I got papers. You don't need to know nothing.
You automatically shame everybody in the room that don't have papers.
I don't care. Get you some papers, homie. I got them when I was born. I've had them for 43 years.
Anchor baby.
Yeah, I've had them for 43 years. So he moves on from me after I tell him that I have papers. He moves on from me.
He remembered you. He was like, oh, I remember this one.
Yeah, he's like, oh, are you here to call ICE on people? And I was like, I might just be, homie. Like, act right.
And, his set was great. He brought me back to life. Yeah. I enjoyed him. And at this time, because we were all the way in the back, which I haven't talked about yet because you haven't given me the opportunity.
Oh, my God. Nobody cares about where you sat, homie.
Bro. So it's a basement. We're sitting at the bottom of the steps. So anytime someone leaves or walks in, they're fucking hitting my shoulder.
Right.
I'm trying to be cool about it. BJ is like, you should say something. We should get these. BJ, relax. Yeah. We're all right. And so I was like, I'm going to take advantage of this. I can go to the bathroom, no fucking problem.
Yeah.
I immediately go upstairs, and I'm a little big in the front. I got a belly. And their curtain was covering up a fire extinguisher. I had no idea this fucking fire extinguisher was on the fucking wall. So I get up, turn real fast. I knock the fucking fire extinguisher off the wall.
Oh, my God.
Luckily, some dude was like, it's okay. It happens all the time.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
Fuck. Because everybody looked at me, and it's like the worst fat guy shit. Like when dudes get up and they knock shit over.
You belly bump the fucking fire extinguisher.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go upstairs, get some air. I go upstairs and fucking guess who I run into? fucking Rebecca.
Oh, shit. High energy ass Rebecca.
And so I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? She was like, oh, my God, I am so sorry that happened to you. I didn't mean for you guys to sit in the back. And she starts going into this long story. I'm like, it's okay. Don't acknowledge that I knocked over the fire extinguisher. It's all right. It's okay.
Right,
We're going to be all right.
right.
And she was like, next time, just text me. And I was like, I don't know you like that. I don't want to be that fucking dude.
Yeah.
And so immediately I went to the bathroom and then I was like, I need a fucking drink.
Yeah.
So without anybody knowing, I go up to the fucking bar.
Son of a bitch.
I go up to the bartender, the barista.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, man, do you guys do shots? He had to look at his other guy and he was like, I think we can do that. I was like, all right, I bet. Do you guys have Jim Beam?
Yeah.
And he was like, no. I was like, what about Jack? He was like, no. I was like, what the fuck do you have?
Oh, my God.
Have you ever had Evan Williams?
No.
Which is house.
It's
very
house.
bottom.
Yeah.
I was like, let me get a shot real quick. $4 for a shot, which I was like, bet.
Oh, God.
But
you're kind of fucking people.
He pours it, puts it at the bar, and he was like, you got to do it right here. And I was like, oh, I can't go downstairs with it? He was like, no. So he
They're doing
watches
some
me.
shady shit. They're doing some shady shit at that fucking at that coffee spot.
Yeah. So I fucking take the shot up there. Immediately, I'm like, all right, let me get back to my seat. Hopefully nobody knows I just fucking snuck a shot.
I had no idea.
Speaking of shots, we're going to do a quick sponsor. If you go to our What Can Go Wrong page, you yourself can also get one of these customizable shots, and you can drink with us.
Yeah, you really can.
Summertime's coming up, motherfucker.
Summertime.
Shots.
Cheers.
Don't spill it.
Salud.
Hi, guys. Ooh, fuck. Oh, that was strong.
Tastes just like broken dreams.
Oh, what?
Why would you chase that with Coors Light?
I found it.
I guess. Anyway, so you did your solo shot. She apologizes, and I think the show wraps up pretty shortly after that. Like, I don't think anything else major happened.
No, there was some other stuff. So
What else happened?
because we were in the back, we were in the very far back.
Right.
So up until that point, it was nothing of men who were performing.
Nothing
right?
but men were performing.
Exactly. So the headliner, Rebecca, comes out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hype. I want to see her.
Yeah.
You know, BJ, he's all about women. Anything that has to do with women, even if they're bad, she's about that shit.
Yeah.
So Rebecca goes on stage and, you know, she got some good jokes. And immediately, all the male comics are like right behind us. And I could feel them breathing on my neck.
Oh, jeez.
They start fucking talking. And at this point, BJ's white privilege starts coming out.
Okay.
She immediately hits me with her elbow on my rib. She was like, are you going to say something? I was like, say for what? Yeah. I'm not saying shit. I could hear. You got to focus, baby. You got to listen to the jokes. She was like, nobody talked during the men, but the women, they got to start talking. I was like, BJ, you got to calm down. You can't do that white privilege here. This is all fucking gente.
Yeah.
Even if you're right, you're still wrong here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So she was very upset towards the end. So that way, when the show finally ended, we got the fuck out.
Yeah.
I
went out fast as fuck. I was all the way in the front, and I was like the fourth person out. That's how fast.
Big in the shoulders, but
I was just
excuse me,
excuse you. Like, I gotta fucking go. And then one of the comedians, he was like standing up there, and I was like, you did great, bye. And I was just like, I gotta fucking go. I don't have time for this shit.
Are you sure he was a comedian, not just some rando?
No, he was the guy in the maroon shirt. He came from Texas. Remember, he lived in Texas for like 12 years. He was from Venezuela. Yeah. Remember him? And he talked about his wife and his kids. And his 2 kids. Yeah.
I remember Venezuela. Yeah. He was like, I'm Venezuelan. I was like,
he's like, but I've been here for 12 years. I didn't just get here. Yeah.
That's what they would say.
Yeah. That's what a motherfucker would say. But, no, that was the first guy that I saw up there, and I was just, you did great, bye.
Yeah, but they're doing it every month. They said they're changing locations.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see it next month.
Yeah, I'm happy too. Like, I think that we're gonna become regulars. You think they're gonna talk about us again?
Maybe.
Okay, the next one that we go to, can we please sit in the front?
We'll sit in the front.
All right, bet. We'll sit in the front. He said it here. All right, so let's move on to the next segment of the podcast. Pierre went on a motherfucking solo adventure without Jules. Like,
I invited you.
You invited me last minute. I was already at other plans, homie.
How was Jules? Everybody knows you have no plans, bitch.
I did have plans.
That day.
I had plans that day.
So I got invited to a bare knuckle boxing match with a bunch of my old bouncers.
Yeah.
And it's all fucking dudes.
And what? I'm a dude. I'm big in the shoulders.
Okay. So the day of, somebody bails out. And I was like, Jules, do you want to go? Jules was like, too late, motherfucker. I already got fucking plans. I was like, bitch, you ain't got no fucking plans.
I was already at the party.
So I was like, whatever. I'll drive myself.
Yeah, that's really what he wanted me for, was to be his fucking chauffeur.
And so bare knuckle boxing is fucking wild. We've been a few times before.
Yeah.
So I show up and everybody's already inside. I'm fucking running late, as always.
Geez.
I get inside and security's always so fucking relaxed. They don't really give a fuck. So I'm like, hey, I'm actually on the wait list. I give the name and she was like, nah, you're not on no fucking list.
Ooh.
And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure. And I like start fumbling with my phone. She was like, I'm just playing. They told me.
Oh, God.
You look exactly how they told me.
They described you to a T, motherfucker.
I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Whatever. I'm going to take it. I get inside and we immediately, we always sit in the fucking same spots.
Yeah.
It's fucking bleachers, like high school bleachers.
Yeah.
I get there and everyone's shooting the shit. And so I see my boy fucking Chief.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what up, man? I go to hug him. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Why the fuck is your back wet, dog? That's gross.
Yeah.
And he was like, this fucking dude spilled his beer on me. The dude right behind him was like cheering, spilled his fucking drink on him. And I was like, damn, did he buy you a drink? He was like, nah, he didn't buy me no drink. I was like, oh, my bad. I didn't mean to bring it up.
Sounds like he needs to get fucked up then, homie.
So the group we were with was already kind of salty.
Yeah.
And like I've said before, the drinks there are fucking expensive.
It's nothing less than
$15.
Yeah.
For a fucking tall boy.
Yeah.
Water, $7.
Yeah.
So I can't look broke. So I go up to the counter. I get myself a fucking tall boy. And I'm sipping. I was like, this bitch is going to last me all fucking night.
Yeah.
And at this time, I was like, hey, I know somebody snuck in some liquor.
Yeah.
Who got the liquor? Fucking Chief pulls up his pant leg. Tucked in his sock is a bottle of J-Mo.
A water bottle full of Jameson?
Yeah.
Of course it was.
And it's warm because it's next to his leg. So it's all body heat.
Ugh, I don't want it.
Beggars can't be choosers.
I would rather not.
No, beggars can't be choosers.
I wouldn't. I would go buy a bottle. I'm not doing it.
So I go up to the counter and I get a fucking cup with some ice in it.
How much did they charge you for that?
Nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I come back, I give myself a pour, and he was like, yo, pass that shit around. I was like, old school vibes. He was like, yo, make sure everyone gets a hit.
Oh, my God.
So I'm like, fuck, I ain't passing that shit. I was like, it's going to stay right here. So I give it to Dirty Mike, who's right next to me. I was like, hey, bro, save that. That's mine.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, I got you. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh, fuck, one of our guys are coming in, and he always flakes. And so I wanted to bring up, am I the asshole?
Okay.
So I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you the story.
Okay.
So I have like $30 to my name.
Okay.
This guy, JP, he's a master electrician.
Okay, he got money.
Money.
Yeah.
And he likes having kids. He just had his kid, like number 5.
For what? But you don't like money. You obviously don't like money.
He makes mad money.
I know he makes money, but he don't like to keep it in his pocket.
Oh. So I hear that he's coming. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, bro. Let me start chugging this drink. I started chugging my drink, and I hit him up on Facebook. I was like, hey, bro, I'm a little thirsty, man. Can you get me a double shot?
Yeah.
And he was like, I got you. And I tell Chief about this. I was like, yo, JP's going to get me a double, man. Do you want anything? He was like, no, man. He was like, why the fuck are you making JP buy you drinks? I was like, that motherfucker has money, bro.
Because he's a master electrician.
And he's white. So he's that type of dude who's like, oh, what are you drinking? I'll get you something.
Yeah. First round's on me, guys.
So when he first walks up, he has a beer and the shot in his hand. I don't even ask if that's my shot. I just immediately take it. I was like, hey, JP, good looking out, homie. Knock that shit back.
My God.
And Chief was like, you fucking scumbag, bro. You don't even say thank you, no nothing. He was like, JP, you shouldn't be doing that. Don't be feeding the fucking raccoons.
Yeah.
And I had another dude who was like, why'd you do that? I was like, bro, get the fuck out of here. I was like, that fool has mad fucking money.
Yeah, it was nothing to him.
How do you feel about that?
It was nothing to him. He's a master electrician. That $20 was nothing. He probably was going to drop the $20 bill on in the bleachers anyway. I don't know.
$20 for him is not the same $20 for me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like $1 for him.
Yeah. I don't think that you were the asshole there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm already one tall boy and one shot of body warmth.
Oof.
Fucking J-Mo, and then this double.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling kind of good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling social as shit. And I almost fall down the fucking bleachers again. Luckily, I catch myself.
God, you dummy. This happens every time.
So I go and I was like, all right, let me get a water. Go fucking pay $7 for water. I come back. Now I'm talkative as fuck. I'm like, hey guys, who do you think's gonna win? I got $1 because I had 5 ones on me. I was like, you guys want to bet? I'm trying to come up, so I start betting randos.
Yeah.
I lose all my fucking money.
Oh no! I thought you were gonna say you came up.
No, and I start feeling sad for myself, and I was like, fuck. Dirty Mike still has that fucking bottle in his leg.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yo, pass me that fucking bottle, dog. He was like, all right, bet. Passes it to me. I don't know what I did with the fucking cup.
Yeah, the cup is gone.
But we're in bleachers, so I just start feeling around for cups.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I found the cup. I was like, yo, sneaky as fuck. I was like, let me get that bottle. So
never trust that.
I don't even look at the cup. I just feel it, and I start pouring myself a shot. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to drink the whole fucking thing. And there was only like 3 shots left in that thing. Because it was like a little pint.
Okay.
It was like a little pint bottle.
Okay.
So I pour all that shit in.
3 shots of hot Jameson, Pierre.
Yeah. And this is like the main fight. So I'm already feeling tipsy. So I wait for like a big thing to start happening so people start watching me. I grab the fucking cup, shoot that shit back, and immediately I feel something in my mouth. And earlier through the match, they were passing out Zen pouches, which are like dips. Yeah. They're like pouches. Yeah. I pull it out of my mouth, and it was just fucking a Zen pouch.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Mike was like, yo, I was spitting in that cup all fucking night. I was like, what the fuck, bud? You didn't say nothing. He was like, well, I didn't see you. You had it on the ground. And I was like, and part of me, I started feeling like I was going to throw up.
Yeah.
But I was like, bro, you can't throw up that 3 shots. You can't throw up that fucking liquor.
Now I feel that.
I just kept thinking of all this.
My eyes are watering. My eyes are watering for you, Pierre.
It was like spitting in that fucking cup. But I like to think.
I want to hear it.
Okay, I like to think the alcohol killed all that shit.
Oh. My eyes are watering right now.
I feel like I paid for that drink. That drink I took from JP, I paid for it. Oh. I couldn't tell nobody except for Dirty Mike. Dirty Mike saw me do that shit.
Oh my God, that's so good. I want to throw up now. I just had great fucking drinks. You're going to gross me out with your fucking dip, shot, Zen pack. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, I feel bad for you, buddy.
After that, I was like, I'm taking an Uber home.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Duval. I'm done.
No more. It was great. I had a great fucking time.
If you say so, homie, I don't count that as a good time.
I know. They also ran out of waters because I was like, fuck, man, I need some water. After the fight was over, I was just looking in the bleachers for water bottles. I was like, somebody
else's fucking all their backwash. Get the fuck out of here. All right. I need to find a way to not throw up on this podcast, so we're going to be right back, guys.
It was an accident.
Dude, why are you telling that to the people?
Because it's real.
All right. No beer crack for you motherfuckers because I still haven't finished my drink. So we're going to keep it fucking pushing. So let's move on to the next segment. Yeah. Now that I feel better, like I'm not going to throw up, guys. That's all that really matters.
I said something about me, and now you guys say something about you.
You know what? I want to know whose story is worse. Let's put a poll up on Spotify.
It's always you.
Whose story is worse? Who do you feel more bad for? For Pierre, for his Zen pack drinking, swallowing shit that...
I didn't swallow it. I spit that shit out.
Whatever. That's not what that sounded. You say that shit now. So anyway. All right. So Jules is dating again, right? So obviously that means dating disaster stories are here to share with everybody.
As always.
So I went on a date recently and the date was fine. There was nothing crazy. But we were going to do something after the date. And so I had to come home to change. So I come home and we're not in the house for 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And it was maybe like 2 minutes in. And I start hearing this honking. And this is the same night that Pierre went out on to bare knuckle fights, right? So I hear this honking and I'm like, that's kind of fucking weird. People don't really honk in this neighborhood. Yeah. And so I'm like, it's all right. I'm switching my shoes out. And the honking continues. It's like beep, beep.
Aggressive.
Beep, 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 beep. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I turn around and I look at the dude and he looks at me. He was like,
you brought this dude to your house?
Well, I just came to change. I just came to fucking change. We were leaving like it was going to be a 5 minute fucking
I just got to go to my house and change.
Oh my God. Anyway, so I turn around and I see the dude and I'm like, he looks at me and he's like, is that for you? And I said, no, people don't know where the fuck I live. Like, that's obviously not for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I bet you that's one of Pierre's friends. He must have forgot something in their car, and they're honking for him. So I called Pierre immediately.
Blames me.
Yeah. So I called Pierre immediately, right? And I'm like, hey, do you hear that honking? Is that for you? Can you look outside? And he was like, no, that's a blonde chick in a red car. And I said, obviously not for me. And so I'm like, all right. So we live in a gentrified neighborhood, and
it's all whites.
It's all fucking whites. Okay, that's really what it is. All these fucking white people live around us. And so then the neighbor white folks come out, and I see them videoing the girl and like taking pictures of her license plate. And I'm like, oh, they must have had a fight with her or something. It's white on white crime.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, and the guy, he's like, are you sure that has nothing to do with you? And I'm like, no, it's a blonde chick. I'm like, are you sure that don't got nothing to do with you? And he was like, of course not. And I was like, all right, bet. So he's like, no, it's not for me. And I'm like, all right, bet. So también pues, the honking
continues.
It continues. It goes, and then it suddenly stops. And then I'm like, okay, like she must have gotten tired or whatever. She must have found whatever she was looking for. And so then I hear on my door, like, homie.
Nobody ever knocks at your door.
Nobody knocks at the front door. Like, what the fuck is happening? So I pull up the cameras because I'm not going to answer the door to some random white woman. Because
not at this time. This is like 10, 11 o'clock at night, right?
No, but get out of here. It's like 9 o'clock, bro.
Oh.
It's like 9 o'clock. And, I mean, it's dark outside.
Yeah.
But I turn on the cameras, and the cameras have audio. And she's already at the neighbor's house because the neighbor, he's fucking chismoso as fuck.
Yeah.
And he opens the door to her.
He's like, what's going on? Are you okay?
Yeah. And he's like, do you need, I'm Captain Save a Ho. Can I save you, ho? And so she's like, my fucking phone. My phone isn't that.
What is fuck?
Guess what homie pulled up in?
I fucking told you.
And so I was just like, what the fuck? And so I turned to him immediately. And I'm like, you got some random white woman's phone in your car?
You got some explaining to do.
And he goes, what? And I go, yeah, she's talking about her phone is inside of your car.
Yeah.
So he opens the door. And the girl comes to him. She's like, are you? And he's like, yeah. She's like, you got my fucking phone in your car. And then he's like, meet me in the back. So they go to the back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going out there. That's not my fucking
obviously.
business. That's not my fucking business. I could have been a white woman, and I could have gone out there by myself, or with him, like to be like, what's happening?
No, I was chismoso. I had all the lights off in the house, and I was looking through the blinds like that.
Yeah.
I was watching the whole fucking thing.
Well, I was not trying to be part of it, so I turned on the cameras in the back.
Yeah.
And all I hear them is arguing. All you hear is arguing back and forth. And she's like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck that. And he's like, shut the fuck up. And then next thing you know, zoom, she takes off in her car. He comes back in talking about, okay, we're ready to go. And I'm like, homie, we ain't ready to go nowhere. We're not going anywhere.
You still hungry?
Yeah. And I'm like, we're not going anywhere. Like, you stole some random white woman's phone. You try to play it off like it had nothing to do with you. You try to make it seem like it was my fucking shit that somebody was honking for me. And at the end of the day, it was you the whole time. You stole this woman's phone. And then you know what the fuck he has the goddamn nerve to tell me?
What?
He says, oh, I sold her. She didn't pay me for it. So I took her phone.
Like, that's supposed to make it better.
This is the date that I was on. This is the fucking date that I was on. What the fuck is happening? Like, at my age, right? My ripe old fucking 34-year-old age.
You're going to have to get somebody 43. With some kids. You can't be doing
single. He did have kids. He did have kids.
Yeah, I can't help him.
I tried, man. I tried. Anyway, but I did.
Did you go out with him?
No. I blocked him and we don't talk anymore. But I did go out on another date. So this is afterward.
Same night?
No, it's not the same guy. It's a different guy.
Okay.
Different guy, different night. And we went out for dinner. And, we went out for lunch.
Nice. Okay.
Everything was fine. Like, and then he's like, do you want to grab a couple drinks? And I was just like, I don't have anything else to do. It's 4:00. Like, I can have a couple drinks. It's fine. Okay. So we go to a fucking ghetto ass bar, but it was fine because I thought the ghettoer the better.
Like a dive bar or
yeah, it was
ghetto?
like a dive bar. It was like a dive bar. Where all the people were fucking regulars. Like, there were FedEx drivers that were there, and you could tell they're regulars because the bartender knew them. It doesn't matter. So we have a couple drinks there, and then we say goodbye, and then I don't hear from him for 5 days. He Patrick Swayze'd my ass.
What'd you talk about at the bar? Were you talking about crazy ass stories like this, like dudes having crazy bitches show up to your house?
No, because I didn't talk about that. I told him about I told him about the podcast because I was just like I felt safe. I felt safe, and I mentioned the podcast to him. So I feel that he must have listened to an episode, and then he was just like, "Fuck this bitch." But then he messaged me again, like after 5 days.
He's like, "She's not that bad."
So what do you think happened?
I think he heard the podcast.
And you think that scared him off?
Oh, fuck yeah. He was like, I don't know if I could deal with that shit.
And then what? And then he's like, I could deal with it?
He's like, she's not that bad.
I don't know. After 5 days, this is, okay, do you want to hear what my opinion is?
Go ahead.
Okay. So I was on the JV roster, but I was supposed to be on varsity. I thought I should have been on varsity, but he had me on JV, and so I didn't get to play the next game. That's just what I think happened.
He was like, I'll hit her up when I'm drunk.
Yeah, pretty much. No, he didn't do that. He's a nice guy.
Okay.
He's a nice guy.
He wasn't stealing nobody's phone, so he's a nice guy.
Yeah. He didn't steal nobody's phone.
That's an upgrade.
He paid for lunch. He paid for the drinks. He didn't give me no shit about. I didn't have to pay for the drinks like I did with the fucking white boy.
You're fucking getting doubles, huh? You're like, you're buying?
No, but get out of here. I was not. I drank Modelo.
Okay.
That's all. I was classy.
On a date, you drinking beer?
Yeah, I was drinking beers.
That's a red flag right there, buddy.
That's not. You think that's why he fucking ghosted me? Patrick Swayze me?
I wouldn't fuck with the girl who orders beer on the first drink.
No, that was when we went to the bar.
Oh, okay.
When we ate, I just had water.
Okay.
Yeah, I had tacos and water. It was great.
All right, I'm praying for you.
All right. Well, pray for me. Hopefully, I make it to varsity squad.
Someday.
Anyway, guys, we have to say shout out to Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan, thank you so much for putting us on effort, for allowing the What Can Go Wrong podcast to be your third post on your fucking page.
It's an accomplishment. I was like, bro, we're the third fucking thing on his page.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Top 3.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. We still don't believe that you are not AI or a fucking X. I don't know. Until we FaceTime you, I can't believe you.
We're going to have to call him drunk one night.
Yeah. All right. Ready, Jonathan? Just fucking, you better answer us too. Don't put the picture of Jonathan up there. Like he's gonna have.
He was like, "Oh, it's just really dark in here. Can't see you guys.
Can't see you guys." Anyway, also, thank you all so much for our. We're now at more than 1,000 followers. We feel very blessed.
We're proud. It took us a minute to get up there.
To get to over 1,000 listeners or 1,000 followers. So we appreciate all of you for following us. So thank you so much. All right, motherfuckers. That's all that we have for you today. All right, because I
got one more.
I have a date to go on. Hurry up. What do you got?
Shout out to Chabo fucking Bombtastic. They were hanging out without us, drinking and shit.
I didn't even get an invite.
Chabo looks like he got the spot back there.
Yeah.
They were grilling all kinds of shit. That shit. Where's our invite, dog?
Yeah, where was my fucking
Where the
invite?
fuck is my invite?
Oh, also, shout out to fucking Danny. I'm going to go see her. Danny is going to be in Texas. I'll be in Frisco, Texas, middle of this month. So if we do have any other listeners, we're gonna do a listener party.
Maybe a single ladies' night.
Whatever, it'll be fine.
I need somebody to watch Jules while she's out there.
Yeah, Danny's gonna make sure that I don't get into no trouble.
Deal.
So I'll be in Frisco, Texas, and Danny and I we're gonna party it up while we're out there.
Deal.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. Go fuck yourselves.
Stay blessed.
Goodbye.